That Were there any specific cases you can remember where having the UBM and ICL Guru changed the plan, changed the decision making?
Oh my goodness. The very, very first case I did, this lady was scheduled for bilateral surgery on the same day. It was a Monday morning, and we had got the Guru on possibly on the Thursday or the Friday before. And so when she came in, she was a very nice lady and she was under topical, so I knew she was going to be fine. I said, look, do you mind if we just do an UBM on you? It's going to give us additional confidence, and it just gives the team an opportunity to try this machine out. And she said, yeah, absolutely, go ahead. And we did it, and we found that the size we had for the one eye was 2 sizes too big, and the other eye was 1 size too big. Plus, we found she had a small iris cyst. I just said to her, I said, look, I don't know how to explain this to you, but you've got this new device now. It's suggesting to me that the lens that we have for you is too large. And my advice is we're going to postpone this surgery, order new lenses for you, and do this on another day. She was very generous about it, very nice about it, and said, sure, no problem. And we ordered the new lenses, put them in on the same day, and they were within a few microns of what was predicted. So that changed. That very first experience we ever had almost signed the deal for me, although we need more experience to really make a decision. Now that we're well over 100 cases, we know how predictable it is. But that was the power. That day I understood the power. You've got a very interesting story too. I remember seeing a patient 5 years earlier, was very high myope with 6 diopters of astigmatism, but only at 2.5 millimeter anterior chamber depth. And I told her back then, there's nothing we could do. She was too young for a lens replacement, way too high for laser vision correction. I said, come back every now and then, and you never know, just giving her some kind of hope, not anticipating we'd be able to do it. But what happened when she saw you a year ago?
Yeah, so a lot of change for her in those 5 years. She had become a mother twice. So she had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And she came in and said, look, this is now something that I have to do something. I'm waking up in the middle of the night and I can't find the kids. I can't get to the cot in time. I'm tripping over things. Can't you just do as much laser as you can do, is what she said. So, can you take me? She was -16, -6. She said, can you just take me down to -10? So I just got back from Argentina and we had just got the Sonomed. So I said, look, there might be something we can do now. Your anterior chamber depth is way lower than the company recommends, but we've gone close to it before and been fine. I think it'll be nice to you to know if it is possible. Why don't we do a UBM and see what the AI predicts? Is there a lens that might fit? She was happy that there was something that we could potentially look at. We did a UBM, and there was one lens that was predicted to be in the yellow zone. So yellow is between 100 and 200 microns. So a little bit low but safe, whereas the other lenses were either hypervolts with closed angles or no volt at all. There was one kind of borderline lens. And I said to her, if we try and correct everything with the ICL and it doesn't fit because it has to go in at a very specific axis to correct your astigmatism, we know that if we get a kind of high volt with a horizontal ICL placement, we can rotate it vertically to lower the volt a little bit. And she said, what do we do now? And I said, what I would do if I were you is for us to correct the astigmatism with the LASIK. So bring you from -16, -6 just to -16, and then put in a spherical ICL. So we did the laser on the Tuesday, bilateral, plano -6. We did -6 on both eyes. I think one eye was -6.5, but we did the max we could. And then the following day we did the ICLs. And she's doing great. She was in the clinic last month while I was away, and she's 6.6 in both eyes. There's very few patients that I've seen that are so happy.
Yeah. What's interesting, you mentioned something that's very worth just repeating, and that is when you put a toric ICL in, you put one landing zone. It's going at that angle, and that's it. What you got is what you got. Whereas if you put a non-toric in, you've got the 3 landing zones or more horizontally. You win 150 microns if you go oblique, and you win 300 microns on average if you go vertical. So it gives you a lot more freedom. So that kind of freedom you just didn't have before when you've got that power to do things.
the reality for her is that we would have not offered her anything if we didn't have this technology.
There's something I've thought about so many times when I've spoken about this, is that it's the same ICL we had 5 years ago. It's the same patient as 5 years ago, with the same dimensions.
Yeah.
The only thing that's changed is the fact that AI is now part of a UBM brilliant device. And those two together are giving such good predictions that you can start considering this. That's been the difference. That's the single difference why today she can see and is a totally different person as to 5 years ago, when we just said no, because we had no one on the planet almost would have had the confidence to, in that space. I think she was 2.45. No one's going to be thinking about putting an ICL in there. And you went in there with confidence and a plan. You had the plan. You knew with a non-torque, you could rotate it and win some microns if you needed to. And the truth is, if I recall correctly, it went very strictly according to plan. You put it in horizontally. It was within microns of what you'd planned.
It's such a good perspective. 5 years ago, you would have been a total cowboy doing something like this. And now it's almost like bowling with the side rails off. Then to get to where you wanted to go.
It's doable now, for sure.